Wow, this is crazy. So good evening, everyone. Welcome President Rabinowitz, Provost Simmons, Dean Lane, my co-recipient, the Honorable Gail Prudenti, faculty, graduates, and all of our guests. A special welcome, too, to my mother, who I'm fortunate to have here tonight, and to my wife, children, and family. What a distinct honor it is to have been asked to provide these remarks to you. Thank you, Dean Lane, for having the confidence in me to speak to this year's graduates. So this is a moment to take a deep breath, sit back, enjoy the last few minutes of law school. So much hard work and dedication, so many successes, challenges, late nights, sacrifices, accomplishments, growth, and dreams. First and foremost, you owe a special debt of gratitude to those closest to you that showed you support through this journey. So please, will all the graduates stand up, turn around, and applaud your parents, grandparents, spouses, partners, siblings, friends, and loved ones. Okay, that's enough. And I include all those attending remotely, which to me is still an incredible phenomenon, an innovation to me. This is a special day for all of them. Their support was instrumental in this part of your journey, as it will continue to be as you embark upon your career as an attorney. Our firm has among its ranks attorneys from virtually all the New York area law schools. None more, however, than from Hofstra, who continues to graduate terrific candidates. A special shout out to one of your fellow graduates, Stephen Breitenbach, who will be joining our firm as a first-year associate in September. So I read advice once given to law students and graduates. The advice was, create building blocks as your career develops, as, quote, your first job will not be your last unless you work for one of those fantasy law firms at which folks stay their entire career. Her message suggested a story of self-importance, selfishness, and me-first attitude. I'm not one who really believes in fantasies. You don't know me well. I'm a kid from Brooklyn, and so perseverance meant more to me than fantasizing. So I checked to see how someone might describe a fantasy. I found a fantasy described as the faculty or activity of imagining things, especially things that are impossible or improbable. This might explain my recurring dream, one in which my mother is shaking my shoulder and telling me that I need to wake up or I'll miss the school bus. This self-doubt or humility keeps me honest with myself and is a driver for me, as you will hear in a few minutes. I encourage all of you not to confuse self-doubt with confidence. They are by no means mutually exclusive. So in searching for a theme for my few minutes with you tonight, I decided I would prove, through reliable evidence, of course, the fallacy in this career advice. You see, otherwise I must be dreaming, since I ended up joining the fantasy law firm out of law school, the same firm at which I still practice today. But let me tell you a little brief story about how that began. No fantasy, despite what the pessimism of the unnamed commencement speaker might have suggested. In November of 1982, I was a third-year law student here, and Professor Resnick came to me and said, I just started a law firm, and we could use a kid doing some legal research. Would you like to go for an interview and meet Neil Moritt, my partner in the law firm of Moritt and Resnick? As opposed to all of my friends who are heading into Manhattan to work in big law, I took the opportunity, ended up receiving an offer to begin as a first-year associate, and became the fourth employee at the firm that would become known as Moritt, Hock, and Hamroff. 33 years later, over 110 employees, including more than 60 lawyers in multiple offices, I'm still at the firm, being challenged every day, learning, growing, developing, innovating, counseling, and being the best lawyer, partner, and advocate I can be. Most importantly, I was instrumental, I hope, in creating, as I now understand it, a law firm that is a fantasy among law firms, one in which long-term commitment, collaboration, advancement, and teamwork are rewarded over silos of lawyers all acting independently. If that is a fantasy, don't wake me up, and I challenge each of you to trust your own judgment and make your own mark. Thank you, Professor Resnick, for seeing something in me all those years ago, and thank you to my founding partner, Neil Moritt, here tonight, for giving me the latitude to create the fantasy and for showing me the benefit of that culture. You can all do this. Don't always think about how to make the next move or do the next best thing. Be part of the difference to create the next best thing yourself. I had no connections, no easy opportunities, nothing to fall back on. Hofstra Law School gave me the foundation to create Moritt, Hock, and Hamroff, and I will forever be grateful for that foundation. Believe me, it wasn't the lure of lovely Hempstead Turnpike that brought me to Hofstra. Although I did enjoy being here for 3 of the 4 Stanley Cup championships of the New York Islanders when they, in the early 80s, and their parade up the Turnpike, a memory at this point. I learned to be direct, practical, and pragmatic here, and my students in my secure transaction course know me to be that way. From that, I take 3 principles that help guide me. Help me mentor the lawyers in my firm, deal with my students, lead in my role as board chair at the American Heart Association, earn the respect of my family, and now perhaps you can be guided by some of them as you embark upon your career. I am not one who complains about being a lawyer. It challenges me every day, provides me the opportunity for complex problem solving and relationship building, and has provided me the opportunity to both grow a business and at the same time be an advocate and advisor to my clients. So, let me share those 3 principles with you. Number 1, be part of a culture where everyone is encouraged to row in the same direction. I have advocated in every meeting and every organization I have led that we all must row in the same direction. What do I mean? Advocate a culture of collaboration and trust. We encourage our attorneys to be collaborative and to focus on using all the firm's resources to deliver the best advice for our clients and to help the attorneys develop, learn, partner, and grow. There is no room in our firm for the silo approach to lawyering, and that applies equally to other aspects of what I do. Collaboration breeds a willingness to give without expecting a return. I found that in the charitable work that I do for the American Heart Association and for Hofstra. Find a passion and commit yourself to it, and you will find the rewards immeasurable. Be part of a culture where everyone is rowing in the same direction. Second, look in the mirror. I believe strongly in this principle. Sometimes you might not like what you see, but ask yourself, are you all doing all you can do, rather than lay the blame of a failure, inaction, shortcoming, or disappointment at somebody else's doorstep? Be honest with yourself and take action to change what is not acceptable to you. And third, develop good judgment. Recognize that the most important trait we as attorneys bring to our communities and clients, the courtroom, negotiating table, or public service, is this: judgment. I mean good judgment. When asked by a prospective client what distinguishes me from other lawyers, I say I bring good judgment to the problems, challenges, issues, disputes, and matters they will bring to me. We are counselors at law. We provide counsel and judgment, and I'm challenged by that every day. So remember, build a culture where everyone rows together, be collaborative, look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. And lastly, strive to develop the good judgment that will serve you well in confronting the many challenges your clients will face. These three principles do not sit in a computer, nor are they discoverable on the internet. You cannot Google the secret to good judgment. It resides down here, in your gut, and it comes from instinct, experience, good mentoring, leadership, and many bumps and bruises along the way. I am from the last of a generation to have graduated from this law school before there were personal computers, and certainly before there was an internet. But notwithstanding all that technology has changed, in the end, our clients look to us for counsel and judgment, not answers to questions that can be Googled. Find a passion outside the practice of law and commit yourself to it. Make it one that allows you to make your mark in a cause close to you. Don't pursue that passion for any expectation of a return other than to further the mission or cause, and chances are it will enhance your development in so many aspects of your life. Don't wait for loss in your life to make changes. Unfortunately for me, I learned this later in life and chose to run the New York City Marathon to fundraise for a cause close to my heart. And I started my journey. There are less insane ways than running 26.2 miles through the streets of New York City to find that passion. Just commit yourself to it, find it, and give back. It is a privilege, 33 years after my graduation from this law school, to have the honor to congratulate each of you on this special day in your lives. Take what you've learned here, most importantly, how to think like a lawyer. We think differently than everyone else, and people will tell you that, and bring that thought process with you. It will serve you well. But right now, just enjoy this moment, be proud of yourself, and as a fellow graduate, I hope you're inspired to meet the challenges that will face you. Congratulations. I wish you much success and the good health to enjoy it. Good night.